Okay, so today I want to show you guys how to assemble this stove. It lights up. So yeah, I'm going to be selling files for those. It's going to be two options of the stove. One is sort of like the classic one. The second is a more modern one. The main difference between them is that the knobs in here are different. So it's sort of like a well inside which you put this red thingy. And here the knob is just one piece. But, I mean, other than that, they're pretty identical. So let's get started. Okay, so that's what you're gonna get after you print all the pieces. You're gonna get the stove body, the door, the front and the back panel of the door, the insert, like that goes inside the oven, the burners, those grates that go on top of the burners, we're gonna get to that. The racks, the tray, and I already printed them. That's the handle and the knobs. Those were printed on resin printer, and those ones were printed on filament. I mean, the quality is more or less the same. I want to say filament did a pretty good job too. So what you're gonna need? You're gonna need the screwdriver because when you print the doors and the body of the stove, most likely filament will get stuck on those holes, so you're gonna need to push it through a little bit. You're gonna need Gorilla Glue. You're gonna need, I mean, it helps me, X-Acto knife, 24 gauge gauge, I'm not sure, wire clippers, most likely, magnets. I have 2x1 millimeters magnets, and fairy lights. I use the warm color type of thing, but you can use whichever. You might also need glue gun. I'm going to be using that, but that's very optional. So basically what I'm going to start with, again, totally optional, I'm going to spray paint the legs of the stove, and for that I will basically cover all the stove in this masking tape so that I can spray paint the legs. So for the painting, I want to try to get the effect of this, like I'm planning to make the red stove. For that, I'm going to be using this thing. It's called Oracle tape, not tape, I'm not sure. So I think I mentioned it before in one of the reels. So it's thinner than the stainless steel contact paper. See, it's like more flexible. It covers a certain amount of imperfections. It doesn't cover them all, because it's way too thin, but it's also very easy to cut. So I'm gonna show you guys how I create this effect type of thing. So basically you're gonna attach the piece of the Oracle that you need and cut off the excess. So again, that's how I do it. It's totally optional, but basically you're gonna glue this Oracle tape, and you're gonna carefully feel there is this engraving on the bottom of the door that like sort of repeats the shape of the door. I'm not sure I'm saying it right. So basically you're gonna feel it, like find it, and carefully score it with X-Acto knife. So after what feels like, I mean, years of suffering, you're gonna end up with two objects like that. So we need to paint this stuff gold and not mess up this stuff. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna, oh goodness, there it is, attach the masking tape on top of this Oracle thing. So basically after you do it, you're gonna see the border of the, like this white border where you cut Oracle off. So you need again to score on top of the masking tape so that this masking tape matches the shape of the Oracle, and you have this white frame type of thing. So basically you're gonna end up with something like that. After that, cover with the masking tape all the parts that you don't want spray painted, like all the back of this thing probably, and then spray paint it, or I mean paint however you want it, I will be spray painting them. So after that, you basically need to separate Oracle from masking tape and carefully remove the masking tape. Again, it's going to take some practice, and again, I mean, spray painting might actually be easier. I mean, for me, for sure. And after that, you need to take the X-Acto knife and cut the excess Oracle from inside the door. So that's more or less what we're gonna get after we assemble everything together. So after all this is done, we can finally get to more or less fun part. You're gonna need fairy lights. Again, I'm using the warm ones. You can use, I don't know, even the green ones if you want. The only thing I would do before attaching it, I would unscrew those screws. And normally the set of fairy lights, they come together with this screwdriver. Oops. Yeah, so basically it would allow you, in case you need to ever change the batteries, which I honestly don't know what's the lifespan of those batteries, but I can assume it's pretty long. But anyways, you would be able to actually to actually open this thing and have access to the batteries. So also a cool thing about those batteries is that if you cut them, let's say here, those ones would still keep glowing. That's why those ones I'm gonna save for the soldering experiments. Stuck. But yeah, those ones I'm gonna use because I mean, I honestly think one will be enough, but just to be safe. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna flip it over and you're gonna put this wire-ish thing in here. So this tunnel, it's sort of like it is shaped like that. So you have to, like, you know, carefully squeeze them in here. And then this part also carefully. I promise it fits. Just have to apply some I don't know, strength. So yeah, and basically this thing is gonna end up here. You can glue it. I'm not gonna be gluing anything now, but yeah. So, and what you do after that, that's the point where you might need the glue gun. So those things is they like the stop pieces for this insert. So when you attach the wires, try to make sure they don't go very like up high, you know, higher than this thing. So yeah, basically you can do whatever you want with these wires as long as this lamp ends up on this thing. If you feel like soldering is your way of life, you can use this thing. That's like it's sold separately, and you can attach one of those lamps that we cut out actually. That will give you thinner and shorter wires, which will allow you to just, you know, like let's say cut it here and attach the lamp over here. So that should save you some space and time and everything. So yeah, that's what I ended up having. Doesn't look very pretty, but it's gonna be okay. I use glue gun to attach those lamps. Then again, whatever you feel like. Sorry, my table is so wobbly. Whatever you feel like using. I was using glue gun. And what you're gonna do after that, you're gonna take this insert, with the lamp up, and you're gonna slide it in here. Just carefully straighten it up as much as possible. So, I mean, I'm not gluing it yet, but you can glue it. And that's what you're gonna get. There is a lamp, oh my god, lamp over here. So, yeah, what I also did, I went ahead and cut, like I used the X-Acto knife to cut the holes in the, oh my god, this thing, what's it called? Oracle, oh my god, I'm so sorry. And in the door for the handle. So yeah, I did that. So what are we gonna do now? Now we're gonna attach the magnets in here and in here. I mean, obviously they're supposed to be like connecting the door to the frame, so make sure they're like, oh, I don't know the word in English, but I mean connected in the right way. So what you can do while the magnets dry, at least that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use this silver-ish looking Oracle paper to glue it over here, so that I don't have to spray paint it, because in the original stove, you know, this thing is like silver-ish. And maybe I'll try to attach it on top as well. I'm not sure yet, but I'm gonna give it a go. Yeah, I have to say, after the battle with Oracle, I started thinking that maybe spray painting wasn't the worst idea. So by that time, the magnets on the body of the stove are probably dry, so you can attach the corresponding magnets to the door. Okay, also a tiny trick, sort of, I found a way to attach the magnets to those tiny holes without, you know, like grabbing them and everything. So I basically attach the corresponding magnet to the existing magnet, and then I take the X-Acto knife and sort of, you know, grab it like that and attach it to the corresponding opening in the door. So basically right now you're sure that you have the magnets that are gonna be attached to one another in the proper way. And while the magnets on the door dry, what I'm gonna do, I mean, that was not my best idea to print this item in the white filament, knowing really well that I'm gonna be attaching the red Oracle to it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna glue all the opening, like all the free spaces with red Oracle. I mean, I'm gonna do my best to cover. Okay guys, I want to be honest with you, this took me a good 2-something hours, and as you can see I gave up on the hinges. So obviously next time I'm doing that, I'm gonna be either spray painting everything or using the red filament, because as cute as it turns out, it is exhausting. So what you're gonna do after that, you're gonna take a piece of the film, which I put somewhere, unbelievable, oh there it is. So okay guys, piece of the film that you're gonna use as a glass to put between this door and the frame. So at this point you're gonna need the wire. I would at first check that it goes right through the door and everything is fine, and then I would attach it to the stove itself. So, and after you attach that, you can go ahead and attach the handle and the knobs. Also, I don't know why I missed this part, but you need to attach the burners and the grate on top of the stove. They sort of click inside. I mean, you still would want to glue it, but it clicks inside like that. So, well, that's pretty much it. The light is on. You can open it. You can close it. And there are also, yeah, I have the screen that I just didn't put in here yet. And you can put in the Rex, I think it's called Rex, the tray, or the tray also fits in the drawer. So basically, yeah, that's it.